Great to have you join us on this week's episode. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Coming up on today's program. Dr. Popola tells us what makes his art tick as a sculptor who has gained fame for turning waste to treasures. Then a group exhibition at the Omolayo Gallery which focuses on giving hope to the viewers. We'll see that and more in a moment, but let's take our wordsmith for this week.
Our wordsmith for today is a group collaboration by Simon Lawrence Gerard, Tondo Peter, Peter Success, Tekula Stephen, and eBay, titled Impaired. Without a phone, I am alone. The masses pass by us, sucked into screens, absorbed in a culture of cyber world dreams. They move forward together like fish in a school, ushered to nowhere by media's tools. The real world is fading, just drifting away, while I'm left debating society's decay. I live in a generation consumed by devices, a time when reality no longer entices. I fear that this crutch will become more than a prop, that soon will no longer be able to stop the hypnosis of screens held in our hands and technology that slowly commands our minds to submit to illumined displays until we've been drained of humanly ways.
Amazing to see creatives coming together and for a good cause too, to make a valid point about technology. You know, we should all not get too attached to our phones because at the end of the day, when it's no longer useful, it becomes scrap. And that's what this artist uses to create his wonderful works of art.
The event is twofold, an exhibition by contemporary artist Dr. Popola.
The Metal and Metaphor is a documentary, it's a book, it's a compendium, it's a catalog, it's a thesis, it's a research material that I put together for posterity. I mean, a collection of all my works that I created in the last 2 years. So put them together, and I called about 4 scholars to do a critical review of my works.
He has spent his artistic journey in words which were edited by veteran art historian Moyo Oketiji for the people to be inspired as well.
For me, it's such an inspiring journey to have an artist here in Nigeria for 4 decades and being able to bring forward some of his artistic practice for us to enjoy, and not just to enjoy, but also to inspire Nigerians, and not just Nigerians in Nigeria, but Nigerians around the world. Because there's so much negative narratives around what it is to be a Nigerian, but then having someone like Dr. Popola through his artistic works to be able to tell a story of our culture and in a way to celebrate his 40th birthday, for me, I think is commendable.
These hyper-realistic images always gives the audience a lift because items they can connect with are being utilized to create these sculptural pieces.
The kind of approach he has to sculpture, by paying very serious attention to details and glamorizing, something static sculpture to become very lively and alive. Is something that is very unique. Then the kind of size that he uses, blowing it up to impressionable and unforgettable sizes is also part of the trick. And I think the sense of history is very important, because for each of the artworks, there are stories to tell.
He has brought something new into metal sculpture. We have always had metal sculpture in Nigeria, but by the proportion of his work, by the quality of finish, by the forms, the forms, generally, how he made them presentable to the public. He has really done a great work, and I think it's worthy of being documented, and that's what we have done.
Popola's works are enigmatic. The description that is popularly given is that he is doing metal work. But the truth is he's marrying so many things together in his work. It's a synergy of painting, sculpture, weaving, performance, all in one piece. And I think that is why it's having this very strong attraction.
But it goes beyond the objects and creative process, which takes time and precision. There are also hidden messages which the artist intends to convey to his viewers.
Looking at that piece, I'm looking at the thought process that goes into it, the vision that goes into it, the creativity that goes into it. So for somebody to create something like this, it shows that person has a very, very active mind and a very creative mind. A mind that is so open to so many things, and it shows talent.
The works are monumental, and the works are inspirational too, and the works are strong cultural roots. And I think it's very important for us to celebrate our identity. Sometimes we feel like we are not sufficient enough, we are not enough in our skin, we are not enough in our practice. But I think if we look long enough, we can see who we are, what we have, and it's very important that we celebrate what we have. If we don't celebrate what we have, nobody will do that for us.
The sense of history is very important, because for each of the artworks, there are stories to tell. And this is how we can entrench stories, history, and culture in the art of Africa and export it, all over the globe.
The thing is, Dotun will say, out of the broken pieces of your past, there is an edifice of hope. And that is to tell the youth that out of rubbish, we can bring out rubies. Like, bringing out good things out of scrap. So nobody should actually turn his or herself away. There is hope for the nation.
Is a man of excellence, and you see, excellence has a body language. So for those who come in contact with his works, they will see it and understand it. It's not just producing art for art's sake. It's making statements. It's pushing boundaries. It's turning waste to wealth.
I believe the human brain is built to create, and I know that there are a lot of things within my cranium that I want to bring to the world. There are a lot of untapped resources within me, so I always want to do something new, and I feel the nation has really inspired me to create a lot of stuffs, and our nature So if you look at most of my works, you see a lot of animals. So I love animals. I love to express myself, and these are things that keeps me going. You know, every time I innovate, I create, I bring out something new to the world.
Metal and Metaphor is a book unveiling an art exhibition by contemporary sculptor Dr. Popola in Lagos.
It's good to see Dr. Popola sharing his knowledge with the world, especially for the younger creators.
We'll begin your works of art today by showing you the images done by some youngsters. Let's begin with this one called Shades of Sunset. It's an acrylic on canvas work done by 15-year-old Uche Onyato. Then this one, done by a 16-year-old, is called Hope Never Fails by Ibukuoluwa Otuneye. This oil on canvas work is called Thoughts and Action by Falope Ibrahim. Then Kolade Atonda captures the Oshodi Express with this acrylic on canvas piece. Shegun has decided to use an acrylic on board to communicate his work of art. An Ultimate Search is an oil and acrylic on canvas work done by Aziz Abiodun. Then Godswill Chima has the CEO Series 2 done with oil and newspaper on canvas. Onyeka is an acrylic on canvas work done by Oluwaseyi Alade. Then this digital painting by Olufemi Adedeji is a tribute to the famous rapper who died recently, DMX. Then another illustrator who is paying tribute to DMX is J.C. Wade. He says, "Rest in peace, X." And those are the works of art you sent in this week. We appreciate you for sending them in and encourage you to keep them coming.
Coming up on the program, we see the different works of art done by different artists at the Omolayo Gallery. So join us again.
The Oshogbo Art School came into existence for the threshold of modernity.
Hope Rekindled is a group exhibition by 5 artists in Lagos.
As the title connotes, Hope Rekindled is to inspire everyone, especially those grappling with the impact of the pandemic and other barrage of challenges that accompanied it.
Hope rekindled because of what's been happening all over the world, especially the pandemic. And then if you come back to our own country, Nigeria, we are faced with a lot of challenges. Kidnapping all over the place, arson, killings and all the rest. And business are not doing well unlike before. So a lot of people are sad, fearful, despondent, and they need to be encouraged. So that was why we decided that we need to do something to encourage people. The idea is that no matter the challenges that you've gone through, no matter the stress, a time comes when all those challenges will become a thing of the past, provided you are connected with God.
These 5 artists who are showcasing their works of art are no small fries in the art industry, and they reveal that maturity in the techniques used to execute each image.
He's a brilliant intellectual, and we try to convey the message that artists are not just people who draw pretty pictures, but people who think of what's going on in the work, and every single work of art tells a story, and it's like every single canvas, it's a book. Because when you look closely at the canvas, there are many things going on. When you look closely at the work of art, when you look closely at the artwork, there's a lot of messages going on hope, on despair, on prayer, on nature, on what nature is telling us, and all that sort of information in there. So this is not just about an exhibition, just about acquiring some works, well, you can if you're, and putting it on your wall without knowing anything about it or just think they have pretty colors. No, this exhibition is not just about that, because there's a lot of thought that has gone into the creation of the works of art.
Showing variety and talking about the issues dear to their heart.
I believe this is an exhibition that has come out of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is a lot of shutdown, lockdown all over the country, all over the world, really. And of course, the NSARS that happened immediately after that. So this exhibition is geared in to give hope to the public who come in to view the works of art, that as artists, we've got to continue working, and as educators, we're going to continue working, and we're going to continue to build up our hope for the future and for our own sustenance as well.
This is a very serene environment born out of artistic excellence that has been exhibited here myriad of ways, showing the unity in diversity. You can see the one at my background there, which sort of reminded one of one's childhood days, and so many other beautiful ones around to rekindle our hope that in tumultuous time and world of strife like this, during COVID, during the time we are having bandits and kidnappers everywhere, where most times our blood pressure might have risen for one reason or the other because of the unfortunate events unfolding in the country now and world over. You can still find harmonious surrounding whereby your mind, your soul will feel so inspired by the work of art. And I want to commend Omolayole for this kind of exhibition, which has really served as a tonic to more or less a disturbed mind.
The message is that let's keep hope alive. We need to be very hopeful. I don't want people to be hopeless because some things would happen to you. It gets to a point you are hopeless as if there's not going to be tomorrow again. But I'm telling people, let's keep hope alive. We now realize that material things are not as important as human beings being alive and being well. They're very important. So we need to give attention to our health. We need to give attention to ourselves. And then while we are running around in doing business and whatever, you need to take care of yourself as well. It's very important.
Biodun Omolayo, Yemi Othman, Wale Othman, Ahmed Ibrahim, and Sheyi Ajayi are the 5 artists who made this group art exhibition happen.
And for what to look forward to the next time you tune in, take a look.
Next week on Art House. We enjoy this touring exhibition by 2 artists and lecturers. It takes off from Calabar, Cross River State. Then return to the commercial capital to see Fortune, a group art exhibition at My Dream Gallery, Lagos. To enjoy that and more, tune in to Art House next week.
Your Art House experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Art House on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Art House on Channels. We're everywhere.
And that's how we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Art House. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And do you know you can see this and any other episode on our various social media platforms, as well as send me messages as well on what you think about the program. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to stay safe and keep the creative spirit alive.